Welcome to the news. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Lavis Onyebuchi. Let's begin with the headlines. Governor Francis Nwifuru promises to adequately reward retirees. Association of Residents Doctors embarks on indefinite strike in Oyo State. Ukrainian member of parliament arrested over bribery scheme. Governor Francis Nwifuru has reaffirmed his administration's dedication to ensuring that no retiree from the state or local government is owed pension or gratuity. He gave the reassurance during the inauguration of a committee responsible for the verification of retired staff of Ebonyi State local government system from 1996 till date, held at Governor's Office, Ochudu, Centenary City, Abakaliki. Government House correspondent Osando Nguta has more.
Governor Nwifuru, who emphasized that the sacrifices made by retirees who had served for over 35 years will not go unrewarded, frowned at the prolonged delay in offsetting pensions and gratuities, particularly within the local government sector, and assured that under his watch, no retiree from 1996 till date will be left in debt, emphasizing that timely payment of pensions and gratuities is not only a moral obligation, but also serves as a vital encouragement for civil servants who are currently serving.
We want everybody that has had the opportunity of serving our people at the local government level to get his or her own gratuity. We are doing it not because we have money. I begged the local government chairman, I sat down with them, and I told them that there is no infrastructure we do that is better than at least putting food on the table of those that served and sacrificed all their life to build this state. Because without their intellectual capacity and their submissions to serve our people, there's no way we would have been where we are today. They are the ones that laid the foundation. They are the ones that suffered for us to be where we are. And they are the ones that made us to continue answering this name and be proud of the name Ebonyi. So because of that, we should be able to pay them. We're not going to exonerate anybody or to stop anybody from getting what is due. But we are not also going to allow anybody to cheat us. We don't supposed to owe anybody gratuity, because that is the enticing that makes one to serve diligently for 35 good years, nothing else.
The governor expressed confidence in the capabilities of the committee, which is chaired by Mrs. Catherine Ogbu, and charged them to be thorough in their verification process, ordering for immediate payment of those verified at the venue of the exercise. The governor also commended local government council chairman, the commissioner for local government and chieftaincy matters, Mr. Uchenna Igwe, and the executive secretary of local government pension board, Mr. Mekan Wong, for their cooperation towards achieving the lofty initiative.
Everybody that is here is seen as a great stakeholder in this state and someone who has distinguished himself as very known professionals, known trusted leader, and have the capacity to do what is just to these retirees. And I'm confident, very much confident. So we want the process to be seamless, and we want it to be hitch-free process. And we don't want you to gather a crowd that you will not control with the stress and the edge. When you get a crowd that you will not control, definitely it will affect you. But if you do it local government by local government, and any local government you are doing, you put seats, about 50 to 100 seats outside. And if you are called, you come inside, they had a table. I have a very good confidence that definitely you people are going to do a better job. Head of service will be supervising the activities day to day and find out any issues. If there is issue that is above the committee, I'm sure head of service will be there to sort it out immediately. And as we are verifying, anybody you finish verifying, you pay the person the same day. Let that person get alert immediately.
The chairman of the committee, Mrs. Catherine Ogbu, thanked the governor for finding them worthy to serve the state in that capacity and assured of their readiness to deliver on the assignment.
Thank you for choosing us to do this work. It is a huge task. I know the God has it's already on top of it. Thank you.
The inauguration was witnessed by principal officers of the government and some executive council members, including the Commissioner for Information and State Orientation, Chief Ikowa Omebe. Osondo Nguta, Salt TV News.
Moving on, over 30 viscovaginal fistula patients have been discharged at the National Obstetric Fistula Center, Bakaliki. The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Uzamaka Nwifuru, described their discharge as a successful restoration of womanhood and fundamental objective of our PET project, and urged them to obey medical advice associated with fistula treatment. Commentators correspondent Pauline Nwanereonwe completes the story.
Mrs. Mwifru, represented by a member, Better Health for Rural Women, Children and Internally Displaced Persons Foundation, BEWO, Mr. Kelechi Mbam, advised the patients to abstain from sexual intercourse for 6 months and commended the management and staff of National Obstetric Fistula Center, NOFIC, for their unwavering commitment to the healthcare delivery of women. Mrs. Mwifru said her pet project, Better Health for Rural Women, Children and Internally Displaced Persons Foundation, BEWO, has enrolled pregnant mothers into Ebonyi State Health Insurance Scheme and promised to assist fistula patients through financial grants to make them relevant to the society.
Annual ritual to empower the repaired fistula patients in this hospital is necessary because BEWO Foundation is anchored on the objective of ensuring that rural women receive adequate medical attention and live a life for which they have the fundamental rights to live.
The medical director, National Obstetric Fistula Center, Professor Johnson Obuna, represented by Dr. Emmanuel Yakubu, appreciated the state governor, Chief Francis Mwifru, the United Nations Population Fund, and Mrs. Uzamaka Mwifru for continuous free treatment of fistula clients in the southeast.
Most of our patients, when they come, is either a cause of fistula or is an effect of it. And coming with such a kind of idea is a very good one because this will really help to sustain this as a whole. Like we said, the focus here is for empowerment, and we believe that this will continue and to help them to continue to live their lives even after the treatment has taken place.
The BEWO team, Mr. Godwin Nwora and Mrs. Nwakego Iboke, encourage pregnant mothers to always register with qualified hospitals to avoid such dehumanizing occurrence associated with poor surgery and obstructed labor. Narrating their ordeal, Blessing Okemini, Clementina Nnanwelu, and Alice Kalu from Ebonyi, Imo, and Abia states, respectively, appreciated the government's gesture, financial assistance, and promise to obey the medical advice.
If I come outside, my mother go start the smell. Say which kind of thing be this? So now I don't go hospital, go carry disease, call the giver. I say, Mama, no be my fault. But this thing, you know, say na true to God begin I cause all those things.
Since good 30 years, and I'm happy, and I'm at church. When you have run them, and I tell them to every day we have surgery, or they don't go on our fee.
Free medication, all the tests I run here is free. The water I'm using. In fact, I saw different things entirely. I'm very, very, very grateful for this.
The women were given financial grants to enable them develop skills training learned while in the hospital. Pauline Nwanereonwe, Salt TV News.
The State Commissioner for Border Peace and Conflict Resolution, Professor Paul Nwaobashe, has embarked on fact-finding mission to the disputed land between the three maternal families and Nguzi community in Eda local government area in a bid to ascertain the root cause of the contested maternal land. EBBC press crew led by Charles Ole covered the visit.
The Commissioner, Professor Paul Nwaobashe, maintained that the State Ministry of Border Peace and Conflict Resolution is saddled with the responsibility of resolving land disputes between communities across the state and beyond, especially those arising from family claims. Professor Nwaobashe revealed that the visit to the contested land between the three maternal families and Nguzi community was to source the correct map and survey points of the land boundaries for easy identification and reconciliation purposes. He commended all the parties involved for their calmness during the physical fact-finding visit and promised to invite all the delegates from various parties to his office at Old Government House, Abakaliki, with all relevant documents for round-table peaceful dialogue to foster lasting solutions on the contested land.
We have seen the entire place. We have gone around taking the points. We have noted the differences, both in the three families and in the community representation. We are going home, map it out, superimpose what we have seen with the contested area. So when you go back, please tell them to stay calm. The status quo still remains. Nobody should go there. Nobody should enter into the land until we resolve this thing amicably.
The coordinator of EDA Development Center, Mr. Mayor Okorafor, who represented EDA Council Chairman, thanked the Commissioner, Professor Paul Nwobashe, and his team for embarking on the fact-finding visit and expressed hope that the timely visit to the disputed land would bring lasting peace in the area.
I want to thank you, thank the government of Ebonyi State. I know it is not easy. You people have tried. And I know with your own team, having been a witness of what is happening now, please help us and relate it to the appropriate parties. Okay. On behalf of my chairman, who is not here because of other engagements, he's here, the vice is here. We are grateful. As you go, may you go well. Thank you.
Present during the visit were management team from the Ministry of Border Peace and Conflict Resolution, representatives from the Office of the Surveyor General, delegates from the three maternal families of Ibe Anoma, Ibe Nwale, Ibe Uma, and Ibe Apaye maternal family, stakeholders and youth among others. Charles Olejino for TV News.
Away from Ebonyi State, the Association of Resident Doctors at the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, has embarked on an indefinite strike. The doctors cited the failure of the hospital management and the state government to address their long-standing demands as the reason for the industrial action. Details.
On April 8, the doctors suspended a month-long strike to give the hospital management and the state government time to meet their demands. 3 months after suspending their strike, the doctors sent a letter to the hospital's chief medical director, Professor Olewale Olekulehin, issuing a 3-week ultimatum for the management to meet their outstanding demands. The letter dated 8 July said Congress agreed to grant a grace period of 3 weeks, during which formal notification will be sent to relevant stakeholders, including the Oyo State government and the hospital management, to encourage prompt action on unresolved issues. However, it regrets to note the continued non-implementation of critical outstanding demands.
After this break, the news will continue. Stay with us. Glad to have you rejoin us on the news. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has intercepted illicit drugs hidden inside vehicle side mirrors. The agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, disclosed this in a post shared via his handle. Details.
The latest seizure adds to a growing list of unconventional concealment methods employed by drug traffickers in recent times, including stuffing drugs in lipstick tubes, prayer beads, cloth hangers, and dress seams. The agency has intensified its surveillance and profiling efforts at all entry and exit points across the country, warning traffickers that it remains steps ahead of their desperate tactics.
Away from Nigeria, former Prime Minister of Mali, which is now under military rule, has been charged with undermining the credibility of the state over comments on social media. After a prison visit to see detained opposition figures in July, Mao Samara declared on X his unwavering solidarity with prisoners of conscience.
Mara, who served as prime minister for 9 months a decade ago, has been a recent outspoken critic of the military government. The junta in power since coup in 2020 and 2021 dissolved all political parties in May following a rare anti-government protests. Recently, the ex-prime minister said his regular visit to see those detained were to make sure that the flame of hope never fades in them.
A Ukrainian member of parliament and other officials have been arrested after the country's anti-corruption agencies uncovered what they call a large-scale bribery scheme in the purchase of drones and electronic warfare systems. In a statement on X, President Volodymyr Zelensky said a Ukrainian member of parliament, heads of district and city administrations, and several National Guard service members had been exposed for their involvement, which involved state contracts, with suppliers being signed at prices inflated by up to 30%.
Zelensky wrote that there can be zero tolerance for corruption of Ukraine and thanked the agencies for their work. The independence of Ukraine's anti-corruption agencies was restored following nationwide protests. Zelensky's government faced an extensive backlash after introducing a bill that would strip the National Anti-Corruption Bureau and Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, known as NABU and SAP, respectively, of their independence.
Beria reports the remains of the oldest man in Ufofia Amankalo Ezelechi Oshiri in Onitsha local government area, Mr. Samson Obunnaya Nkume, have been laid to rest amidst tributes from family and relatives. He was buried according to Oshiri customs and traditions, the report.
In their tributes, the first son of the deceased, Mr. Ikechukwu Nkume, and his younger brother, Mr. Ode Friday Nkume, described their late father as a very disciplined man who, though a traditionalist, stood for what is right, a straightforward person who detested lies and deceit, which he impacted in all his children. Friday Nkume said the family would miss his wise counsel, jovial nature, and the warmth that characterized wherever he found himself, and expressed the family's resolve to maintain his legacies.
My father is a very disciplined man. He's a gentleman. He's rough sometimes, but then he embedded his roughness on pure discipline and truth. He's this guy that never tolerates any form of lies.
Superintendent of Police Cosmos Iwe, retired, a nephew to late Mr. Samson Nkume, said though he died at 93, his death was painful, stressing that he trained all of them in school and always advised him not to trample on a subordinate and should be upright in whatever he did, while Mrs. Patience Donatus, a member of the family, said she was pained by the death of late Samson Nkume.
Tears. The thing paid me. I lost a very greatest man.
So low with that, the more with them too much. You told them when I came, only she left home. Never engaged, marriage, one day. But I'm not getting I wasn't going anywhere. One day now for Keta.
Some sympathizers, including the member representing Onitsha East in the House of Assembly, Mr. Celestine Oba, and the coordinator of Oshiri Development Center, Mr. Ago Odefa, described late Samson Nkume as the custodian of Oshiri culture, whose contributions to the development of Oshiri would not be forgotten in a hurry. They called on the family to uphold his legacies, while expressing excitement at witnessing traditional burial rites in accordance with the wishes of the deceased and Oshiri culture, the first in decades.
It's a mixed feeling actually. One, it's a celebration of life, but no matter how old a man is, he left people behind to mourn him. And as such, I'm one of such people who came to mourn him today. So it's a soul that we lost. It's a father that we lost.
I think easy, as it's being called, and no, this is a great compound, and it's the also that is in charge of Nkume Ebonyi, one of the deities of this community. And I'm not surprised what we are seeing today, because he lived a wonderful life, and his children can show that.
Others who paid tributes to the late sage were Chief Ali Odefa, Mrs. Rosalyn Wode, and an in-law, Ms. Emeka Iwe. The burial featured traditional and cultural dances and masquerade displays. Victor Anya, Salt TV News.
Recap of the major stories before we go. Governor Francis Winfrey has reaffirmed his administration's dedication to ensuring that no retiree from the state or local government is owed pension or gratuity. The Association of Resident Doctors at the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomosho, Oyo State, has embarked on an indefinite strike. And the foreign singer, Ukrainian member of parliament and other officials have been arrested after the country's anti-corruption agencies uncovered what they call a large-scale bribery scheme in the purchase of drones and electronic war systems. Many thanks for your time. My name is Lovis Onyebuchi.